The beautiful thing about breathwork is that it's so simple. The danger of breathwork is that it's so simple. I love breathwork, and I've been a full-time breathwork practitioner for over 30 years. I've been training practitioners for the last 25 years. I've worked in conjunction with medical doctors, psychologists, and health professionals. I was the keynote speaker at the Australasian Integrative Medical Association's national conference in 2007. In fact, when I started breathwork, it was called Rebirthing. Rebirthing got a bad name because people were doing it that were not properly trained. Because they were not properly trained, they did not realize that opening up people's emotions can have profound implications. In fact, in 2001, I instigated a name change in our association from the Australian Rebirthing Association to the Australian Breathwork Association. I also had a copyright on the name Breathwork. I did this in an attempt to protect the integrity of breathwork, having seen rebirthing come under a dark cloud because sessions were not properly facilitated. I was also on a select committee of trainers that acquired government accreditation for breathwork at certificates 3, 4, and diploma levels. Whilst there's no RTO hosting trainings at the moment, our trainings are aligned with the curriculum that we developed. We were the first country in the world to get government accreditation, and our curriculum has been adopted by the Global Professional Breathwork Alliance. With the resurgence of breathwork in the world, there's a diverse range of different breathing practices that people are calling breathwork, and also a diverse range of people presenting trainings and facilitating sessions. Not all of them have done an accredited breathwork training. These days, there's a lot of talk about re-traumatizing people. People ask me about breathwork. Isn't that re-traumatizing? My response to this is that breathwork does bring up past trauma for healing. And when it's done professionally, it's done in a very gentle and sensitive, safe and supportive way so that our clients can integrate the unresolved emotions from the past traumatic event. The most common complaint that I've heard about rebirthing and breathwork happens in group sessions where there are an inadequate number of facilitators. When people are breathing in a group all at once, they bring up their trauma and invariably there's nobody there for them. It's important to understand that there are two aspects of what makes an event traumatic. The first aspect of a traumatic event is that the intensity of emotions that are created is too overwhelming to process and integrate at the time. That could be a birth experience, could be a childhood experience, could be a car accident, the loss of someone, an abuse situation. When the intensity of emotions is too intense to integrate, it causes what we call emotional flooding, and this leads to dissociation. The person splits off from their feelings, becomes disconnected, ultimately neurotic, less present in their body and in their life. There's a real danger in dynamic mouth breathing breath work where people are pumping the breath that they can become overactivated and overwhelmed and find the experience traumatic in itself, especially if they're highly sensitive and have experienced trauma in their past. I'm hearing feedback from people with anxiety that have found that breathwork has increased their distress after improperly facilitated breathwork sessions. Having facilitated breathwork for over 32 years, I have developed a very gentle, nurturing, and supportive style of breathwork, which I call heart-centered breathwork. Heart-centered breathwork allows people to integrate their feelings, deepen their connection to their body and to their heart, to heal and to come home to the core of their being, which is peaceful, happy, whole, perfect, and complete. The second aspect of what makes an event traumatic is that we went through it alone. If you think for a moment about events that you've been through that were traumatic, very often you were on your own. It's not uncommon for people who were sexually abused when they tell their parents that they're actually getting into more trouble and the blame be put on them. So when we do breathwork sessions, we always make sure that there's an abundance of assistance present and we only breathe half of the room at any one time. We pair people up so that there's a breather and a sitter, so that when participants connect to their trauma, there's someone with them to help them to feel safe enough and to be able to relax and open up and to feel the emotion and heal it. As well as this, we also have a debrief session after every breathwork session to make sure that everybody feels heard and seen and felt complete and integrated. As I said at the start, the beauty of breathwork is that it's so simple. The danger of breathwork is that it's so simple. Many people experience breathwork and then think, oh, that's great. I'll do this with my meditation group. And that's a big mistake. I highly recommend before you do breathwork with anyone that you find out if they've been properly trained by an accredited breathwork training institution that's registered with the National Breathwork Association. A professional breathwork training not only includes the anatomy and physiology and science of the breath, it also trains people to facilitate the healing of emotional trauma responsibly. And it includes the person's healing of their own trauma so that the practitioner doesn't get activated and overwhelmed and re-traumatize themselves, and instead so that they can remain open-hearted and present to co-regulate their clients. If you're looking for a competent breathwork practitioner, you can contact us at the Australian Breathwork College and we can put you in touch with a practitioner in your area who we feel is appropriate to help you with the challenge that you're facing. If you'd like to become a breathwork practitioner and help to heal emotional trauma, make the world a more open-hearted, beautiful, loving place, then you can contact us as we have professional breathwork trainings online and in person. In fact, we have our next intake in 2 weeks' time on the 20th of April, and we have a free open house introduction session next Thursday night, the 11th of April. I'll put the details in the chat. If you're looking at this a bit further down the track, the link will work still if you head over to the Australian Breathwork College at breathwork.com.au. We'd love to have you with us and help to make the world a more open-hearted and connected place. Thank you.